Wilds, how should Mac Jones feel?
Well, Mac Jones should wake up this morning, walk into his bathroom, and when he looks up at the mirror, he says, there he is, the baby goat. Mac Jones should feel even more like the baby goat than he does on a normal day, Jenna. Because this is exactly how Bill Belichick treated the original GOAT, Tom Brady. In Bill Belichick's tenure with Tom Brady, he drafted not one, not two, not three, blah, 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 blah. He drafted 10 quarterbacks. In the 4th round, 6th round, 7th round, 3rd round. Jimmy G very early. So this is just normal, standard operating procedure for the Patriot way. You can never have too much talent on the team or in the quarterback room. You never know when you're going to need a guy. Jimmy G had to win some games for us. Matt Castle had to win some games for us. Jacoby Brissett won some games and draft him, but still had to win some games. You always have to be ready. Brian Hoyer is kind of past his prime. He's thinking about taking a coaching route. And I hate to say it, Jarrett the Javelin, probably not the guy. I'm sorry, Jarrett the Javelin. You probably have to find greener pastures elsewhere. And finally, and I will admit this, Nick, I don't think it's bad to have Mac Jones have a little competition in the quarterback. Just somebody nipping at your heels. I think that's okay. I think that is totally fine. Nipping at your hooves. I think that is okay.
So you think there's a
Brady
chance?
And Jimmy G.
Yeah. So you think maybe there's a motivational ploy? Maybe Belichick was like, hey, Mac, a little less time in the trademark office and dance studio, a little more time in the lab. Like, you think maybe that's what it was? Or he's not quite as sold on Mac Jones as you are? Or option C. The Patriots stink at drafting. And a team that has holes all over the place just used a 4th-round pick on Bailey Zappe to be their backup quarterback. Just like they used a 4th-round pick on Jarrett the Javelin, and you loved that, and now you're like, okay, he's probably out. So listen, by the way, I couldn't be more happy, Brew. After we got off the air Friday, the Chiefs made another draft day trade, once again with the Patriots, because they spotted the sucker in the room again. They're like, and people are like, oh no, but the Patriots might be drafting a receiver in the 2nd round like the Chiefs are. And the Chiefs were like, yeah, and they're going to draft the wrong one, so who cares? And with the Chiefs would be like, oh no, our guy's still going to be there, because the Patriots don't know what they're doing. So option A, it's motivation for Mac Jones because they think he needs motivation. Option B, it's insurance for Mac Jones because they're not quite as sold on him as Wilds is. Option C is they don't know what they're doing. Those are 3 doors. It's like let's make a deal. The old game show, except there's just a goat behind all of them, not the baby goat and the actual goat. There's no car, there's no money. It's just bad. So nobody. Can we show real quick?
Yes.
Sorry, Brew. Just real quick. Can we show the Warren Sharp tweet? Because teams don't do this. So yeah, the only other time that he didn't mention that a team has done this was when it was Kyler replacing Josh Rosen, because they knew Rosen was done and Kyler was number 1 pick. So it's pretty, I'm not making it up, that it's incredibly rare, Brew, to spend a top 15 pick on a quarterback and then spend a top 4 round pick on one the next year. The Patriots just did it though. I'm sure Stevie Belichick's got this whole thing figured though. I'm sure they're fine.
Well, look, here's how Mac Jones should look at it, Wilds. That despite the Pro Bowl appearance, despite the playoff berth, despite the cool nicknames, despite having a national TV sports personality in his back pocket, I'll just let you guys guess who that might be.
Back pocket.
He has not done enough yet. He has not yet arrived. Okay?
Nope.
And look, and you know, I'm not nearly as down on Nick or Mac Jones as Nick is. I'm actually closer to you, Wilds. Baby Goat's a lot too far, but I'm closer to you on Mac. But he hasn't done enough to totally be like, this is our quarterback for the next decade in New England. So you gotta go out there, and if you think you saw something in this kid from Western Kentucky, bring him in. Give him a shot. Obviously, next year, Mac Jones is a starter. And probably for the next few years. I'm not saying he's going to fall on his face, but the fact is, Mitch Trubisky made a Pro Bowl. Marcus Mariota and Baker Mayfield led teams to the playoffs. That doesn't mean you are a franchise quarterback. So Mac still has some things to prove. I do think this will be good motivation for him. And I think he's made of the stuff,
Yes.
Wilds, where he'll take this the right way. He'll go out there, and this will make him a better player. So it'll work out for him. But yeah, look at this as competition, healthy competition.
Nick, any chance the Niners can salvage the relationship with Deebo?
Well, I don't know if they can salvage the relationship, but they can keep him on the team. He might hate him for it, but listen, Deebo Samuel is not going to be operating from a position of leverage. Because in my estimation, there is a 0% chance Deebo Samuel sits out the season. He's made $6 million total in his career. He's not. It's not a Le'Veon Bell situation where a guy's already made $30+ million and he's going to sit out a year and then be free of his contract. If he were to sit out, that contract tolls anyway. Like, I think the Niners are looking at it and saying, yeah, buddy, like, we are going to be breaking in a de facto rookie quarterback. You're our most valuable offensive weapon. Unless we get an amazing return to help us right now, we're not trading. Like, and I think they'll offer him a contract. I don't know if it will be the contract he wants to sign, but I don't think Deebo Samuel has the juice here. N'Keal Harry, demanded out of New England, and Belichick said, okay, we appreciate that. Go cover punts. Now, Deebo Samuel obviously is 100 times the player N'Keal Harry has proved to be, but they were in a similar position leverage-wise, which is what are you going to do? So I don't know if they'll salvage the relationship, but I do think there's a real chance he's on the Niners next year, Brew.
I do think it's salvageable because it is a lot like the Baker Mayfield situation, which obviously isn't salvageable. But here's my point. Baker came out and demanded a trade, right? And then found out, my value's really not that high. All right, and Deebo is finding out the same thing. Now, I love Deebo, all right? But there are people in the league that think if you take him away from Kyle Shanahan, he's not as good. There are people in the league that think he's as good of, if maybe not a better running back than a receiver. And if you look at the offers that have been reported, the Jets reported, a lot of people thought he'd end up with the Jets. They reportedly offered Nick the 10th pick in this draft, plus a 5th rounder for Deebo and a 2nd rounder, which is incredibly low. And then the Lions offered him a low ball deal as well. In fact, Mike Florio said that offer from the Jets was insultingly low, so insulting that it shouldn't have even been offered. All right, so here's what you do. If you're the Niners, you're like, Deebo, look, we love you. We think you're great. These teams they're offering garbage. We can't believe what they're offering for you. We think you're a lot better than these other teams think you are. And so I think they can salvage it because Deebo's finding out no one else is really in a hurry to give up a lot for you or pay you the $26 million per year that you reportedly want. So I think they can make it work in San Francisco, Wild.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.